Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and welcome to the channel. Like you've seen many times before, we've put together another exciting compilation, this time featuring clips from around the world and from our own mine, showing what happens when things get a little out of control. So, let's get into it. Up first, we've got a kinda awkward situation. Two XCMG haul trucks were passing each other, one loaded, climbing out of the pit, and the other empty, waiting on a widened section of the road. The biggest issue that day was right at that very spot. The road slopes on both sides leaned toward the center, which meant both trucks were naturally being pulled toward each other. And to make things worse, the whole area was covered in thick mud. So yeah, the inevitable happened. It was just a matter of time. Now we've got a real problem on our hands, because these two trucks basically ended up sitting on top of each other. We tried to separate them without using any other machines, but no luck. So we had to call in an excavator for backup. We went with the simplest idea at first, try to pull them apart with the excavator, but that didn't work either. The trucks were stuck together like they'd been welded. The excavator was just rocking them left and right. So we had to organize a little plan. We decided to unload the truck to make it lighter, then use that extra material on the ground so the excavator could build himself a small bench to climb on, giving it a better angle to push from behind. At the same time, we brought in a bulldozer to pull from the front. Let's see how all that played out, and if it actually worked. While the excavator was working in the back, setting things up, the bulldozer was doing the same up front. The mud was just too much. Everything had to be perfectly organized and done without a single mistake, because one wrong move and we could have made an even bigger mess. Now that everything's set up and ready to go, moment of truth. Let's see what happens. Like you just saw, they pulled it off, but only because everything was perfectly organized. Now all that's left is for the loaded truck to pass through. Then the dozer and grader clean up the extra mud from the road, and the road is open again for traffic. Great organization, and great job by the crew. At first sight, everything looks normal. Just a guy in a backhoe loading a truck with dirt from a hole. Probably some water pipe or valve repair job. Nothing unusual. But what was supposed to be a simple routine fix almost turned into a straight-up tragedy. Luckily, he had a helmet on, but the biggest screw-up in how this job was organized was that nobody was there to guide the backhoe operator. A mechanical screw-up that could have turned tragic real quick. From the look of it, the tractor's brakes gave out, and it suddenly took off like a runaway beast. The driver tried to get it back under control, but the road was rough as hell. That thing started bouncing all over the place. Next thing you know, it goes straight over the edge, drops about 30 feet down into the water. Somehow, the driver bailed out at the perfect moment and walked away without a single scratch. Poor guy just stood there watching his tractor disappear under the water like it never existed. A well-known situation. The harder you try to get out of the mud, the deeper you sink. Especially when your rear wheels are buried deep in it. Sometimes it's better not to fight it. Just stay calm and wait for help. Well, you could say the rescue operation was successful. Okay, kinda successful. Looks like the right tandem got damaged, probably a broken chain inside, and it's leaking oil from the tandem housing. So yeah, like I said, sometimes it's better not to try anything and just wait for help to arrive. Another recovery in progress, but this time we're talking on a whole different scale. What happened here is that the Belaz haul truck had an issue with its rear left final drive, something related to the planetary gears, and couldn't move on its own. So the bulldozer had to push it almost all the way from the bottom of the pit up to the workshop. I'd suggest sticking around, because the part where they get it into the workshop is going to be real interesting. By the next day, the rear left wheel was completely locked up, making the whole situation a lot harder and more complicated. this is where it gets real tricky. The bulldozer couldn't push on the dump body anymore. Instead, it had to lift the truck's rear end with its front blade and push it that way. And yeah, he's doing all that while pushing right on the truck's tire. Keep in mind, one wrong or sudden move from the dozer could blow that tire, and that'd be like throwing a hand grenade. In the end, they pulled it off without a single scratch. Well done, guys. When you put flip-floppers and heavy machinery together, when you mix those two, you just know something crazy will happen. Flip-floppers, Winter Edition. But this time, the Kamaz steals the show. And look at this dude. He ain't even flinching. Like that truck couldn't flip right on top of him. Looks like the driver overestimated himself and bit off more than he could chew. Just when you think nothing else can go wrong, boom, this happens. Oh, don't worry about the driver. I'm sure he had his seatbelt on. But hey, at least he dumped the gravel. Bad load estimation led to the crane tipping over. But what I really don't get is what these two are doing standing on the outrigger pad. Well, I guess they thought their body weight would somehow keep the crane from flipping. Well, looks like they were wrong. I'll just say this. You're about to see the most expensive and most powerful donuts of your life. One tire alone costs 30 grand. So you can do the math on how pricey this fun really is. At first I thought it would run them over, but let's see. A straight-up mess from these two dudes. Instead of one of them guiding the truck, they were just chit-chatting with each other, leaving the driver to dangerously approach the edge. By the time they realized the truck was rolling right past them, it was already too late. The rear wheels had gone over the edge, and the truck got stuck. The driver gave it all he had, trying to pull it out, but no chance. That thing was fully loaded and heavy as hell. End result? It tipped straight into the foundation. A total screw-up by those two. And from this angle, you can really see how bad this could have gone down. He was just inches away from dropping right on top of that mini loader. Man, thank God for CCTV cameras. Desperate attempts to save a valuable machine worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The loader operator's given it everything he's got, trying to save whatever can still be saved. At one point, he even smacked the excavator's cab with his bucket a couple of times. But honestly, that's nothing compared to what the excavator's already going through right now. Looks like the sacrifice paid off after all. Maybe the fire wasn't fully out, but the big flames got knocked down. Much respect to the loader operator for stepping up when it mattered. Well guys, at the end we wanted to give you a close-up look, the best we can, at these beautiful machines after some serious hard work. Enjoy the walk around. Well guys, with these beautiful machines, we're wrapping up today's video, which means that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this compilation, and if you did, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out with future projects. Stay safe out there, keep those machines running, and until the next one, bye.